they gave out awards to whichever music theory concepts confused the largest number of people, modes would have to write a new acceptance speech every damn year. It's one of the first music theory ideas that people learn beyond the absolute basics, and it is criminal how often it's taught in a way that's needlessly confusing or completely lacking in perspective. So today I want to clear the air a little bit. Let's talk about modes. Basically, modes are scales. Specifically, they're scales that can be derived from your typical major scale. When students first learn about modes, they often learn like this. If you take a major scale and then start it on a note other than the root note, you get a mode. This method is great if you just want your piano student to play a Dorian scale so you can get them out of your basement, but it not only doesn't explain what a mode really is or why you should learn about them, it also makes the whole concept of modes much more confusing. Now, just so you know, there are modes that you can derive from other scales, like the harmonic minor modes or the melodic minor modes. That's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the 7 major modes derived from the major scale, which is what people are referring to when they talk about modes like 99% of the time. Anyways, the 7 modes of the major scale fall into 2 categories, major modes and minor modes. These are entirely defined by whether the mode in question includes a major third or a minor third. The Ionian mode, or your regular old major scale, is obviously a major mode, while the Aeolian mode, or your regular old minor scale, is obviously a minor one. Other than that, you have the Lydian and Mixolydian modes, which fall under our major category, and the Dorian, Phrygian, and Locrian modes, which fall under the minor category. Now, inside these categories, each mode is completely defined by one note, which sets it apart from the other modes in its category. The Lydian mode, for example, has a raised fourth compared to the major scale, and the Mixolydian mode has a flattened seventh. On the minor side, the Dorian scale has a raised sixth, the Phrygian scale has a flattened second, and the Locrian scale has a flattened fifth and a flattened second. Spooky. These are the notes that give each mode its distinct quality and really are synonymous with the name of the mode itself. If you have a Lydian chord, for example, that just means the chord includes the sharp 4th or sharp 11th. This note defines the Lydian sound. One example of the sound would be in the Good Egg Galaxy theme from Super Mario Galaxy. Once you know the Lydian sound, if you want to use that sound in a composition, now you know how to do it. Just stick the sharp 4 in there. Same goes with the other modes. The Dorian mode's raised 6th is a super common way that composers make a piece sound mysterious. Check out the Ruins music from Undertale. The melody is constructed entirely using the Dorian mode, meaning that in the key of G sharp minor there are no E naturals, only E sharps. Using this raised 6th in a minor key is what gives the piece the quality of the Dorian sound. So, rather than thinking of these modes purely as scales or trying to memorize how each is related to the major scale, think of them as effects that provide a specific musical quality, and memorize what specific note in each mode gives it its particular quality so that you can use these effects on command in your own compositions, or just so that you can more easily recognize them in music that you listen to. In my experience, this way of thinking is like 900 times more helpful than how I was typically taught about modes in beginner music theory classes. There's more that can be said about modes, like how they're used in improvisational settings or the different ways to imply a specific mode's quality in a chord progression, but for today, let's just leave it at that. That was tutorial level number 2. Did it make sense? Did you like it? Do you have questions? Let me know in the comments below or tweet me at 8bitmusictheory. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.